What's good with y'all, man? Got y'all another banger video today. We finna react to the darkest Family Guy episode. Now, I'm going ahead and check this video out. I want to give y'all my honest reaction. This video is old, though. This came out like 2 months ago, but I was interested into reacting to this. All I ask for y'all is to watch this full video. And please, subscribe if you new. And don't unsubscribe. And comment how you feel. Let's go and check this video out. I'm going to give you my honest opinion about it. See what it's talking about.
In the early 2000s, a literal cartoon war broke out. Writers of The Simpsons, South Park, King of the Hill, and Ren and Stimpy were all attacking Seth MacFarlane's Family Guy. But it's not hard to see why they were upset. Family Guy was successful by repeating the same lazy comedic formula over and over again for decades, leading to 9 primetime...
Why did all these shows want to go after Family Guy, though? It's Family Guy. Ren and Stimpy was like a kid's show, I thought. Why do these shows want to go after them?
Emmy Awards and even a Grammy nomination. With tensions at an all-time high against Family Guy, Seth MacFarlane finally decided to respond to the criticism, and as a result, he created one of the most controversial episodes in animation history. It was so bad that the Fox network refused to air it on live TV, and
what was the episode? Now I'm interested. This looks like it's gonna be good. I hope he ain't do no weird shit. Like, every time they don't want to put it on TV, it had to be something very, very weird. And they ain't want the world to see it type shit. So we'll see what it was.
He lost respect for Seth MacFarlane forever.
What about South Park?
They can go to hell.
Seth MacFarlane had a dark sense of humor, and he wanted to push the boundaries in the animation industry. As a kid, he was obsessed with cartoons like the Flintstones and Woody Woodpecker. He would spend hours drawing and studying these classic animated shows. By the time he was 9, he was already publishing a weekly comic strip for his local newspaper. But unlike other aspiring animators who were writing kid-friendly cartoons, MacFarlane's humor was intentionally offensive. He wasn't interested in heartwarming stories, he wanted to stir the pot with edgy jokes.
Did he get in any trouble for his drawing?
Yeah.
What kind of stuff?
He was the cartoonist for the school paper, and the character in his cartoon is taking communion. The comment underneath said, "Could I have..."
So he was doing dark humor as a kid? Bro, you need to spank him. Like, sometimes these moms and shit don't know how to just do their shit, man. Like, bro, get your ass up and put that belt to ass, man. Fuck is you talking about? He was doing dark humor and you ain't do nothing. I gotta be quiet because everybody's asleep. But at the same time, this is making me mad, bro.
Fries with that, please.
And Seth can still remember how a local priest reacted.
Then the ad gonna pop up when I'm speaking facts. She knew she was wrong. That's why they put that YouTube ad right there. Get this ad off my screen.
To that cartoon.
Dear Seth, shame on you for insulting the Almighty God and those who love him.
After studying animation at the Rhode Island School of Design, MacFarlane caught the attention of Hanna-Barbera Productions with his thesis film, Life of Larry.
Is it too much for a kid to just call his parents if he's going to be out late? You know, I mean, especially in a city like this. It ain't safe, you know, Lois? I mean, even in this apartment...
Why does he sound like Peter from Family Guy? He sounds just like him.
I mean, some nut in his underpants could just walk in off the street, bang on the door, and demand God knows what. You guys have any Cheez-Its? Honey, I think we should move.
During his time at Hanna-Barbera, he helped write and animate legendary cartoons like Johnny Bravo and Dexter's Laboratory.
Wow.
And while most animators work behind the scenes for years before ever getting the opportunity to share their own projects, MacFarlane just kind of skipped the line. He pitched a crude, low-budget cartoon about a dysfunctional family featuring an alcoholic dad, a talking dog, and a violent baby to various networks, and Fox took a gamble on him. In 1999, Family Guy was born, making Seth MacFarlane the youngest showrunner in television history. But what...
Hey, shout out Seth MacFarlane for making that history. We gotta sometimes give them people their flowers. Hey, everybody that's young that's doing their shit, if you 19, 18, you the first millionaire, shout you out. Shout out all the kids that's getting Lambos and stuff. Hey, he doing his thing. He's showing people that you can do it at any young age type shit, man.
Nobody knew at the time was that this show would go on to change the animation landscape and make Seth one of the most hated men in the industry. Over the years, Family Guy has been called many things from iconic to offensive, but if there's one word that keeps coming up, it's lazy. I enjoy Family Guy because it's something you can watch and laugh at without thinking. It has a formula, and that formula is easy to digest and laugh at without needing to pay attention. It's a good background show, something to listen to when doing something else. If you're
Facts. I'm sorry if I keep pausing. Family Guy is exactly that, bro. I can be eating some cereal, bro. Bro, I'm about to clip this bitch on TikTok. Watch this. Family Guy is the perfect background show. Bro, I could be drawing or some shit. Then I could still watch Family Guy. I could be eating or something. And I could still watch Family Guy. I could be eating some Popeyes. And Family Guy could be on the TV. Family Guy is the perfect show for background. It's never has... Bro, I ain't gonna lie. You could do whatever. You could be playing PlayStation. Have a laptop right there. And be watching Family Guy. It's just the perfect show to watch with background because, bruh, it's funny, the jokes are the same, and nothing changed. It's simple. That's facts.
you're going to expect a story, don't try to expect it from Family Guy. That's missing the point. Much of the criticism towards Family Guy is that the show has a repetitive formula, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. A large amount of the episodes are basically Peter does something stupid, Brian and Stewie go on some weird side quest, Meg gets bullied for no reason, and every few minutes they put in a random cutaway gag that has absolutely nothing to do with the story.
I thought I could deal with being blind at first, but I don't know. I haven't felt this out of place since that week I lived with Superman.
We must stop Lex Luthor before he irradiates the world's supply of gold.
Hi. Sorry. I know you got a meeting going on, but, we are officially running low on Mr. Pibb and Cheez-Its.
Bro, that's facts. Family Guy does do that shit.
Just putting it out there. If you're heading to the store later, 800-mile drive for me, like,
They do
5...
They do stay doing that. I'm sorry if I keep pausing, y'all. I have to do this is a reaction video. If you want to watch the full video, go to Sunny V2. But bro, they do that all the time on Family Guy. Bro, you'll be watching an episode of Family Guy, then randomly say if Peter or somebody start mentioning the Batman took my sandwich, ate a peanut butter jelly sandwich that I made. They'll spawn in Batman will spawn in eating the peanut butter jelly sandwich. Family Guy is random as fuck. That is something I can say out loud.
Seconds for you.
Critics believe Family Guy doesn't rely on good storytelling or deep character arcs and instead fires off quick, easy, and pointless jokes. Some hit, some miss, but it doesn't really matter because the show moves so fast that nobody has time to care. Family Guy's cutaway gags used to enhance the quality of the overall episode, making the show's style unique, but over time they stopped being objectively funny and became random for the sake of being random.
Peter, when did you become so polite?
Oh, I've been hanging out with Caillou's beta dad. In fact, I'm meeting him at the park to eat unsalted saltines on the swings.
The fuck?
I feel like you're wearing what Rachel Maddow would wear to a pumpkin patch.
As the years went on, many thought that the show was using these gags as a way to fill up their time slot and maybe make up for poor writing. We know for sure this is how The Simpsons creator Matt Groening felt, because he did not shy away from blatantly making fun of Family Guy in front of their millions of viewers. At the start of 1999, Family Guy made its debut on Fox while The Simpsons was already on its 11th season.
Damn, what year did The Simpsons come out? Nigga, they was on the 11th season in 1999? Bruh. So that means The Simpsons been out for a long ass time. Hey, shout out to Simpsons though. I ain't gonna lie. Out of all the shows that I really fuck with, The Simpsons might be my top 5. I don't care what nobody says. I can go back and watch The Simpsons any day I feel like it. The Simpsons is that shit, man. Fuck, I like it more than Family Guy.
Two shows were competing for viewers on the same network, with Family Guy pulling similar numbers to The Simpsons. The Simpsons officially ignited the beef in the episode Treehouse of Horror. In the episode, Homer discovers how to clone himself, but his attempts were not perfect. Some of the clones came out looking off. As the camera pans across the field of cloned Homers, one of them looks like Peter Griffin. Seth MacFarlane realized that this was Groening accusing Peter Griffin of being a copy of Homer Simpson, and that accusation is not too far from the truth. The Simpsons pioneered adult animation in the mainstream, proving that animated shows could appeal to more than just kids and can oftentimes be edgy and controversial. And the genius behind the show was Matt Groening.
Hey, he's a GOAT, man. He made one of the greatest shows ever. Who y'all taking though? Family Guy or The Simpsons? Y'all put it down in my comments if y'all got this far into the video. I'm Team Simpsons, bro. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. It just not fucking with Family Guy. Is not fucking with The Simpsons. I'm sorry. The Simpsons just had too many moments. Too many great moments, bro. The House of Horror episodes, banger. The little clown guy, the cat, and that little mouse when they be having them moments, banger. Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, banger characters. Can't even lie, I'm taking The Simpsons any day.
Seth MacFarlane, who had a degree in animation, Matt Groening was just a self-taught hobbyist trying to make ends meet with his cartoons. In the late 70s, he was living in Los Angeles, barely scraping by, drawing and selling his own self-published magazine called Life in Hell. After his cartoon got the attention of Hollywood producer James Brooks, who produced talk shows and small TV shows, he asked Groening to make short animated skits for The Tracy Ullman Show.
Get the fuck off this ad. I need to get premium. My broke ass need to get some money. God damn. Premium. Just ads fucking my vid up. Shit.
In Groening creating a batch of characters for these segments called The Simpsons.
Here we have Bart Simpson, the young lad who captured the notorious candy store bandit. How does it feel to be a hero, Bart?
Pretty damn good, Phil.
Your family must be proud of you right now.
Bro, this Simpsons look like shit. This is how it looked when it first came out. This looked terrible. Oh, hell no.
Just jumping up and down.
This looks terrible.
What started out as
this looks like straight doodle. I could have did this. Bruh. I don't know how the fuck they made it through, but hey, I'm glad the animation improved a lot. This looks horrible.
Shorts on a sketch comedy show in 1987 quickly turned into a full-length series by 1989. And from the moment it premiered, it was an instant cultural sensation. The Simpsons wasn't just another cartoon, it was the cartoon. The show took the classic family sitcom formula seen in popular shows like The Cosby Show and flipped it on its head. Instead of a sitcom formula seen in popular shows like The Cosby Show.
The sad thing about The Cosby Show is we know about the main guy, Bill Cosby. He done fucked up sitcom culture when he came out with all that weirdo shit. It's sad, man. It's sad. It's sad. It's always sad to see a man fall, man. I wish that stuff never came out with Bill Cosby, bro.
And flipped it on its head. Instead of a picture-perfect suburban family, you had Homer, who is a beer-drinking, insane father that often physically abuses his son. Marge is a tired mother constantly trying to hold the family together. Bart is a preteen-aged menace that lives to cause chaos. Lisa is a misunderstood genius in a messed-up family. And Maggie is a baby who doesn't talk too much but has a lot of personality. And not to mention the people of Springfield, which is filled with seemingly an endless list of side characters that fans would slowly get to know over the years, such as Ned Flanders, Krusty the Clown, Sideshow Bob.
You can't forget about those mouse people too, the mouse and cat guys. Those guys are bangers too. You can't forget about them.
Snake, Professor Frank, and so many others.
That's why I said I think they side characters better than Family Guy. They like the best cartoon sitcom. They're not fucking with Family Guy's not fucking with The Simpsons, bro.
What made The Simpsons revolutionary was how it could go from making fun of politics and pop culture to having genuine interactions that made the characters feel real. Like, these weren't just wacky cartoon characters, they represented people that you knew in your real life. It wasn't just about gag humor, it was about telling great stories that happened to be hilarious, and it worked. By the early 90s, The Simpsons was the most watched show on television, with viewership peaking at 15 to 20 million viewers per episode. Family Guy, on the other hand, was canceled twice in its first 3 seasons, probably because many people felt it was the...
Bro, so The Simpsons was destroying Family Guy this bad? I didn't even know Family Guy almost got canceled twice. It shows, man, they just can't fuck with The Simpsons. Even Disney wanted they ass. That's how serious that shit get. Disney wanted The Simpsons. That's how serious the shit
inferior copy of The Simpsons. However, they came back stronger than ever due to massive DVD sales and high ratings on reruns. The senior vice president of Fox Home Entertainment said, Family Guy had proved an unexpected success on DVD as well. The first boxed set of episodes has sold 1.55 million, ranking number 3 among television shows behind the first season of The Simpsons on Fox and Chappelle's Show on Comedy Central. After the show came back on air in 2005, it dominated, with the 4th season averaging 7.9 million viewers per episode, which at the time was more than twice as many viewers as South Park. And looking back on season 4, it's easy to see why it performed so well.
He takes the beam. The spectators hold their breath, as Stewie Griffin is America's last hope to take home the gold. Oh, did you see that, Mitch? I sure did, Kathy. That was impressive.
Season 4 is called by some peak Family Guy. It was paced well, funny, and just the right amount of offensive. The cutaways were tasteful, adding to the chaos without taking away from the story. And during Family Guy's resurgence in popularity, The Simpsons writers decided it was the perfect time to diss them once again. In season
Why are they dissing each other? See, that's the shit I don't get, bro. Why didn't they just all work together? It's crazy how The Simpsons and Family Guy is really like a beef. I don't portray them as a beef, but that junk's insane to me, bro. Just seeing them two going back and forth on back and forth episodes, dissing each other and shit. That shit's insane.
17, episode 8 of The Simpsons, 2 Italian police officers are flipping through a book of known criminals. As they skip through the mugshots, you can see a picture of Peter Griffin with the crime of plagiarismo, which means plagiarism in Italian. The diss could not be more clear, again claiming that Family Guy is stealing the premise of The Simpsons. They also threw a bonus jab in at American Dad, which is Seth MacFarlane's other show.
Hey man, who the fuck actually watched this shit? Let's be for real. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This show was not comping with Simpsons or Family Guy. This is one of the weakest cartoon adult shows ever. This show was one of the weak. Cleveland show was better than this show, and the Cleveland show was the third weakest show. This is like the weakest adult show ever made. This show right here is so weak. I don't care what nobody says. This show is super weak.
Essentially saying they are a copy of a copy. And while these jabs feel like The Simpsons play fighting with Family Guy, South Park came out of nowhere and dropped an absolute bomb on them. A diss that was so brutal that multiple writers in the animation industry personally thanked them for attacking MacFarlane. Matt Stone and Trey Parker were just 2 film school kids from the University of Colorado who couldn't care less about what other people thought of their humor. They both believed that comedy could be as offensive and brutally honest as possible.
Great. Man, mute this. These ads are hitting me bad. I'm trying to enjoy this video and react to this shit, and they keep
while
hitting me
also
with
having a great story. In 1992, Matt and Trey met on the set of a student project. To pass time in between takes, they would do voices for each other trying to make the other one laugh, and they instantly became best friends.
You do eating sounds? Oh yeah.
That's a cartoon feature in this grown man doing this weird ass shit. Hey man, there's levels to be doing these voice acting imitations and shit. Dude, if you ever get into acting, don't do this shit right here. This shit is weird.
That's a cartoon feature and asparagus is not the same thing well. Oh no! Cartoon feature.
What the fuck? That's what I'm saying. That shit is weird.
Cartoon feces about to come out of my. Oh, here it comes. Oh, it's going to be a rot. Hold on, Kaider. I believe in you.
At the end of every semester, the film department put on a student screening, and since it was right before Christmas, they needed something Christmassy. So Matt and Trey decided to use construction paper cutouts to animate characters and make their first short together called Jesus vs. Frosty, which would lay the foundation for what we now know as South Park. After college, both Matt and Trey moved to LA, where they would meet Fox executive Brian Graydon at a screening of their indie film, Cannibal the Musical. Brian loved their style so much, he decided to help spread their work around the industry. After some back and forth negotiations with companies like Fox and MTV, Comedy Central decided to greenlight the first episode of South Park. Although it is still in the adult.
Now I'm gonna say this about South Park. This shit is weaker than The Simpsons. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Who the fuck watched this shit? I don't care what anybody says. I never watched South Park like that. I watched more episodes of The Simpsons. This is my ranking of adult cartoons. Simpsons, Family Guy, Cleveland Show. Cleveland Show get a pass. After those three, I don't take none of them serious. This show is terrible. It's not funny. It goes, what's that show? That terrible show. This is tied with King of the Hill. King of the Hill is the worst. I remember as a kid, when Cartoon Network used to come on, and King of the Hill, every time King of the Hill came on, I turned off. I went to bed. And this show is terrible.
Animation genre, South Park takes a different approach than Family Guy and The Simpsons. South Park is all about creativity and unpredictability. One week, the elementary-aged kids are dealing with normal school drama, and the next, they're fighting a war against gnomes stealing people's underwear. And yet, that's still not even the craziest situation these kids have gotten into.
Do you like it? Do you like it, Scott? I call it Mr. and Mrs. Tenorman chili.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
See, this is why I never watch. This show's too weird. It's too weird. There's levels to this. This is too fucking weird, bro.
I made you eat your parents.
As a grown-ass man, I'm not watching that show.
South Park instantly turned Comedy Central from a struggling cable network to a network powerhouse, pulling in between 3.1 and 5.5 million viewers per episode. By season 2, it was breaking records. On April 22nd, 1998, the episode Cartman's Mom is Still a Dirty pulled in 6.2 million viewers, making it the highest rated non-sports show in cable history at the time. To put it into perspective, 8 of the 10 most watched shows on cable that spring were South Park episodes. In just over 1 year, Trey Parker and Matt Stone took over cable TV. They also developed a seething hatred for Family Guy. When asked about how he feels about Seth MacFarlane's empire, Trey Parker said, "There's more and more stuff every day finding its way onto American television that I think is really great. But then you get this bubblegum shit that's just like..."
They can't even diss Family. Family Guy is better than South Park. I don't give a that's the worst show ever made. It's trash. They jokes is not funny, man. Think that episode about like, this shit man or something, bro. They jokes is not funny.
By the book, what we call
It's like, why you dissing Family Guy? And your show ain't even, your show is worse. Real shit.
5 comedy writers. They mostly have families and kids, and that's the most important thing. And then they go into work and write comedy, and when it's 5 o'clock, it's time to go. It's gag humor. And gag humor drives us crazy, where it's just like, here's a gag, here's a gag. It's got nothing to do with what's going on in the show. Just like, here's a gag. And anyone who writes comedy knows that that is the very easiest, simplest thing to do, and you don't really need any talent to do it. You just need to learn the craft and do it. Similar frustrations were expressed by John Kricfalusi, the creator of the iconic cartoon Ren and Stimpy. If you're a kid wanting to be a cartoonist today, and you're looking at Family Guy, you don't have to aim very high. You can draw Family Guy when you're 10 years old. You don't have to get any better than that to become a professional cartoonist. The standards are extremely low. Tensions in the animation industry were at an all-time high, with more people speaking out against Family Guy than ever. So in 2006, Matt and Trey decided to escalate the tension to a full-blown war. South Park released a 2-part episode titled Cartoon Wars. In the episode, Cartman really wants to sabotage...
Let me guess. You're...
Like, bro. It's the thing is, I don't get too with all, like, this whole little beef. Let me skip this weak-ass ad. How were they able to just put Family Guy in their episodes? If I'm Seth MacFarlane, I would have sued the fuck out these niggas, man. You putting me in your cartoon? You dissing my cartoon and you put episodes in there? Peter Griffin in my shit? How the fuck was they allowed to do that? That's like crazy to me, I ain't gonna lie.
Easy gag writing. As Cartman arrives to the Fox Network writing room, he is shocked to learn that Family Guy is written by manatees who pick random idea balls from a tank. Each ball contains a verb, noun, or pop culture reference, which the manatees choose an idea ball and swim it over to the joke combine. South Park essentially proves how formulaic and ridiculous Family Guy jokes are by assembling 5 idea balls that say laundry, date, winning, Mexico, Gary Coleman.
Peter, you didn't do the laundry today.
You think that's bad? Remember the time I won a date to Mexico with Gary Coleman?
Bro, what was that so relatable to Family Guy? I don't know, they kind of cooked though. That was bad. That was bad.
¿Qué pasa, señores? What you talking about, Willis?
When this episode released, millions of people around the world witnessed South Park brutally minimize Family Guy's value to the entertainment industry. And it turns out, Matt Stone and Trey Parker were not the only ones in the industry who hated Family Guy.
After the first part aired, we got calls from people at The Simpsons saying thank you, because they actually hate Family Guy more than we do, even though they won't say it. And then we got
why they hate it? This is crazy. Like, they really hate these people, man. Family Guy. It's crazy. If I'm the Seth MacFarlane dude, I would diss these guys bad. Super bad. I guess the episode that he made had to be them dissing back at these guys. So he's telling the lore. I'm ready to figure out what this episode was.
Calls from people that work on King of the Hill saying, they said, quote, you're doing God's work by ripping on.
And then we don't want to hear shit about King of the Hill. See, like, this is the thing I don't get. I don't want to hear nothing about South Park or King of the Hill dissing Family Guy. I think they're both worse than Family Guy. On some real shit.
Family Guy. And like, because Family Guy is kind of this, it's like the Justin Timberlake thing. It's like when you're a musician and you're doing your stuff and you're working hard and you're trying to do art, and then Justin Timberlake comes along and just rakes in all the cash and everyone thinks he's awesome. You're like, dude, come on, that's not that good.
Up until this point, MacFarlane never really responded to the jabs and criticism towards his show, but this attack was too big to ignore. Ironically, he didn't fire back at South Park. Instead, he shifted his anger towards his original haters, The Simpsons. However, many believe he took it too far, and this joke nearly destroyed his reputation forever. In a 2007 Family Guy episode titled Moving Out, at the bottom of the screen appears a bumper for The Simpsons, with a miniature Marge waving to the audience. Because both shows air on Fox, this could have easily been mistaken for a genuine promo. Then miniature Quagmire runs over and attempts to essay Marge. She fights him off and dashes off screen.
That was too far. That was too far. That's how that nigga bounced back at these boys? That's how he bounced back at them boys. Way too far. Way too far.
But then Quagmire, with his pants around his ankles, chases after her. Then it cuts to a shot outside of the Simpsons' home where we can hear Marge and Quagmire having sex in the parents' bedroom.
Oh, he went deep. He went deep. He went deep. Dog went all the way deep.
Homer then walks in, catching them, shocked. And from there, you can hear Quagmire shoot and kill the entire Simpsons family.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
You shot my homie! I'm calling the police!
So, Simpsons, R-word, and murder. Yeah, that got dark real fast. This scene was so brutal, it actually never made it to live TV. The only reason we ever got to see this scene was because it was included in the Family Guy DVD box set. Also on the DVD, Seth MacFarlane does a director's commentary where he discusses this specific scene, doubling down that he feels this joke was not too far and it should have been aired.
I'm not going to be diplomatic. Because
that was too far. I can't even lie. All them niggas did, they did a little dissing. That nigga murdered the characters and grape. We're gonna say grape them like grape, like the fruit grape. He went too far. He went super far. Like that was the maximum level. Like, nigga, you told me a joke and I like that was super far. He went too far.
What happened here was fucking bullshit.
this is a gag we...
Okay, if there's one... Bro, these ads is hitting. Get your ugly ass off my screen. Them small ass braids, weak ass phone. Fuck out of here, man.
The network saying, you can't do this. You cannot do this gag. And with The Simpsons, and I said, why not? They've made fun of Family Guy like 5 times, which, you know, which they're entitled to do. I mean, they make fun of everyone, and so do we. So what's you know, why can't we take a little shot at them? And they said, well, because we want to end the feud. And I said, well, what feud? What are you talking about? I
ain't gonna lie, this shit was too far though. He ain't had to go that deep. He went deep. He went very deep.
Matt Groening, who has a wonderful sense of humor about this stuff, and you know, there's no feud. It's and you know, plus it's.
We actually have had a couple of writers, Simpson writers, who have written for Family Guy, Richard Pell and Brian Scott.
Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, they've taken many shots at us again, all of which have been funny. And Fox said, "Well, this seems a little personal," and I said, "Well, how could it be any more personal than a picture of Peter Griffin on a wanted poster that says plagiarist?"
They made fun of me. Why can't I make fun of them? Seth, you shot a baby. Likely due to the network just wanting the beef to be over, both Family Guy and The Simpsons stopped taking jabs at each other for a while. Allegedly, Matt Groening was upset with Seth for many years after this, and although Seth MacFarlane never apologized for this explosive joke, he has been very honest about his admiration for The Simpsons and Matt Groening.
And The Simpsons guys don't like you either, right?
That's more of a friendly rivalry. They take shots at us, we take shots at them. Matt Groening is a friend of mine. He's a great guy. That's more of like a, you know, all in good fun kind of thing.
He even wrote a line in a Family Guy episode essentially admitting to stealing from The Simpsons.
Get up. You're on my side of the bed. Peter.
We act like we didn't take a lot from The Simpsons. We took a lot from The Simpsons.
Dang, he made an episode based off that?
Simpsons.
They seemed to make amends by doing an official Simpsons and Family Guy crossover episode in 2014, however there was still a tiny bit of tension behind the scenes. In the end, everyone from both camps loved it, except maybe Seth MacFarlane. The running theme of the episode was that Family Guy stole everything from The Simpsons. They made this point over and over and over and over. Apparently at some point Seth told his staff, guys, enough. It's
facts. I ain't gonna lie, I'll be annoyed too. Like, imagine people just keep getting in your ear just saying you a copycat of somebody else and you putting all this work in. That shit would get me pissed. Very mad. But man, that shit is crazy, bro. It's very crazy. They gotta stop going at my guy Seth MacFarlane, man. I don't blame him for crashing out, bro. I would've did South Park too. Fuck them kids, man. I'm just playing. I'm just trolling. I'm trolling. No, I'm just playing. No, F them kids. I'm playing.
Clear that Seth MacFarlane does hold The Simpsons in high regard, but he also believes he deserves his respect. After all, Family Guy did win 9 Primetime Emmy Awards and is loved by millions of fans around the world. And it's actually because of this success that the South Park creators are jealous and hold resentment towards him. With Trey Parker saying, "The biggest thing is that you put everything into your show. It's like you've got to die for it. When you're an artist, you've got to say to yourself, this is all that matters, and if it kills me, so be it." And then you have the Family Guy writing staff who come in 9 to 5, write their gags, and go home. But what I absolutely must say to you is that this totally, purely 100% completely comes from a place of jealousy.
That's all it sounds like, because my guy just doing his thing.
Because when we're sitting there in our room, it's 3 in the morning and we're 12 hours from having to air, and we don't have, like, a third act, wondering why we do this to ourselves. We're just totally jealous of their job. At the end of the day, these shows are all completely different styles of comedy, and whichever one you love the most is just down to personal preference. And they all will be considered legendary in the history of adult animation.
Okay. I do consider all of them, like, legendary. But to wrap this stream up, we're going to end it here. I still think The Simpsons is the best show. Family Guy second. And South Park has no say-so about adult cartoons. They just not fucking with Family Guy, bro. And based on what I've seen, bro, I can see, bro, that junk is lame. A lot of that shit is lame. It's lame how they all going at each other when they all could just be working together. But I'm going to go ahead and make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to see y'all next video. And I'm also gonna see y'all in the next stream.